All right, everybody, we're here with the beginning of turn 4. First of all, Germany got a technical breakthrough. They got heavy bombers, which is way better than America's radar. So with that said then, Germany bought 2 strategic bombers, 2 tactical bombers, 2 infantry, and 2 artillery. The attacks are going in on here. They're going really heavy into this one boat here, and what was it, 112. Through our discussions, I realize now that those going in there was just to reposition his planes. They're not doing nothing anyway, so they might as well do something. So he wasn't really afraid of that one boat, but they had to do something anyway. He chose to leave Normandy alone, which I was happy with. I was happy either way. And he went through Archangel to get to Smolensk with his tanks, and then brought some guys in a plane into western Ukraine to continue to push his advance into Russia. But the majority of the stuff over here in Europe was just to reposition stuff for his non-combat. So we'll see how those dice pan out. Then we'll see what the non-combat moves are and when he gets into position here. Over here with the turn summary for Germany on turn 4 here. Every attack they did went amazing. I mean, there's only one guy in each spot, so they didn't take any casualties here, which is where I really wanted them to be. I didn't ever get a hit on his battleship over here. So, granted, it would have been a lot nicer to have those hits over the Russian front, but the hit's a hit. At any rate, upon looking, we just both discussed it actually, so that with his German fleet in 112 there, I had the option of taking my American fleet all the way from here, hitting here, and then taking out Denmark, and then taking a landing force from England and going into Germany. So he put a lot of stuff into Germany there to try to protect that too. I may or may not do it. It would clip their wings, as we just got done saying, and basically solidify at least a couple turns anyway. But other than that, he flew his planes, repositioned them over into western Germany where the air base is. Put some guys in France to help the defense there. Ferried some guys over here to help with the inward push to Russia, and moved all those guys from Yugoslavia in Bulgaria and Romania up into Bessarabia to again try to advance the guys over into Russia. So they're still being really aggressive, but they're starting to feel the heat of the Allies. So we'll see what happens and see how Russia's turn goes. Over here with turn 4 with Russia. They bought 8 infantry and 2 artillery. The attacks are doing over here, and in the Europe theater here, they're taking everything from Russia into Smolensk and brought the 2 fighters from Ukraine in there as well, just to get all of those tanks out of the way. And over here by the Japanese, they're taking 6 infantry into Yakut and 6 infantry into the Mongolian territory I can't pronounce to take out that artillery there. So that's their attacks they're doing. We'll come back and see what the rolls did and show you how I decided to move the rest of the pieces in non-combat. All right, we're here with the turn recap of Russia on turn 4. Their attacks went really well. The attack in Smolensk, I think I only lost 1 or 2 units there. Went really good. I pulled out everybody from Ukraine. I was undecided, but I figured I would, since he had a lot of air power on the board, I figured I'd just go ahead and let him have it and see if I can counterattack potentially. Put all my airplanes back into Russia, placed all my units that I bought there. Move my guys from here kind of closer to make them kind of work for Rostov there. And then over here I just lost 1 unit per territory. Not that the Mongolian was worth anything, but it did take out artillery. So that was my Russian turn. I guess I moved a couple dudes into here and then moved my guns back into Russia because I figured I'm going to probably need them. So we will see what Japan has to do. I'm sure they're going to do quite a bit. So we'll see what they have to do and come back when they're done. All right, here with the beginning of turn 4 with Japan. For their $50, they've bought 4 or 5 fighters. Sorry. They're going into pretty much all in China here. They brought all their planes from Hunan and their tanks from Kwangtung into Guangxi there. I could only imagine that one guy's not going to survive. Bringing a tank and a guy from Mongolia, and then the rest of those guys from Mongolia went into this other one, and again, I'm not going to try to destroy the name. So everything is going to here and here for Mongolia. And then down here, they brought a battleship from the Celebes, and the carrier the transport and a guy, and then one of the carriers from Sea Zone 36 here, and brought it down here to take Malaya. The carrier was I guess not necessarily a combat move, but it does the same purpose as non-combat or combat anyway. So they're just taking Malaya and getting the free money anyhow. So that's what Japan's doing, and we'll come back once they're done on their rolls and they place all the units. All right, we're here at the end of turn 4 for Japan. All the attacks went well. I only took one unit out right here. The rest of the things I didn't take a single unit out of anywhere else. So he moved all his planes from Kwangsi over into the Philippines to put on the carriers along with the battleship from the Celebes to, of course, repair it next turn. But all those are in range of Japan. Put the other fighters and bombers over here in Kiangsi, and the tanks from there into Kwangtung. I moved a little force down here to protect his transport. So everything went pretty well for him. He put his 5 fighters over in Japan. So I can only assume that he's ready to attack that fleet there, which I'll probably not leave there. The depressing part is that they only convoyed for $2 when they had a possible 11. So it is what it is, but they'll probably be getting out of dodge there so they don't get attacked. So that is Japan's turn. We'll come back with America's turn once they do their buys and their attack moves. All right, we're here with turn 4 with America. They bought 4 artillery, 2 infantry, 2 tanks, 2 transports, and 2 strategic bombers. We're only really going in on 1 attack. Well, I guess 2. They're bringing their artillery up over here to liberate that for the Russians. And the big one is they took a good chunk of their fleet from 91 and brought it up here to attack Denmark to potentially go into Germany with the English. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, we got 2 battles there, the sea battle first and the amphibious assault. So we'll show you how those play out. Now we're here with a turn 4 recap of America. They successfully got it into Denmark. Although because of a lot of missteps on my casualties in the sea zone there, that battle will be probably a lot more palatable for the Germans if they want to take out that fleet. Other than that, they non-combated all the guys from eastern United States into Nova Scotia because bring them down to 91, which I was going to do. His bomber is actually in range of that. Granted, it would have to land into southern France, but to take out 5 transports and strand all my guys in Morocco might have been a good idea to do that. So because of that, I had to slow down a little bit with the American advance into Europe, but it's well worth it to potentially take Germany. So that's what they did over on this side of the board. So that's where the other 3 transports are. They landed there and put all the land units into Normandy to help defend Normandy. And then, of course, my 1 attack with the artillery over here, of course, just a free move. I moved my entire fleet from the Japanese sea zone and put them back in or down into Midway, as well as put the fighters from Soviet Far East and landed those on the carrier in the Midway sea zone. Put the aircraft, not the aircraft carriers, but the transports back by America to bring some more dudes down to Hawaii or potentially back up to the Soviet Union. As far as where I place stuff, I put my 2 bombers and 1 infantry over here. And then the rest of the stuff over here, obviously to continue the pressure on to Germany. So we're going to wrap it up for this game night here. Overall, we were discussing, definitely Russia looks a lot better than they did. The 1 counterattack of all the Russian tank or all the German tanks may have potentially cost Germany the Russian front, as well as having all the having the ability of the UK to actually attack Germany. So that might prove to be the death sentence for Germany over here, but we will see how things pan out. Other than that, things are going pretty good. Obviously, Russia looks pretty thin, but the same time, so is Germany, so it's not too bad. Japan continues to expand, but at a way slower rate than they wanted to. We'll see what we can do down here with these fleets down here. And of course, you always have Anzac trying to be a thorn. So we'll see what happens on our next game, our game night here, and that's going to be starting with China. So once it happens, we'll upload those videos once it's done.